How's it going? So I got some bad news and I got some good news. So the good news... Okay, I'll start probably with the bad news because it was before the good news. So the bad news is you cannot... Remember I said like in low elo, if you split push, you can 100% win all the time. And that's not true because I just lost game in like Iron. Because this guy fed. I mean, he basically died every single time he got into lane because he got counterpicked by Darius. Basically, he literally he died as soon as the laning started. Well, I'm not gonna explain to you. It was literally he goes to lane, he dies, he goes to lane, he dies, and it was like that. Like how long was the game? Where is the game length? Where's the game length? I think I screenshotted this game, so I'll be able to see it in the screenshot, I think, right? Oh yeah, there it is. So look, it was like 19 minutes and this guy died 10 times. So he was dying, assuming you have to factor in traveling to lane is like 30 seconds. He was dying every minute, basically, almost every minute. If you factor in when the minions spawn, surrender votes, and then he also stood still after, I think, third or fourth death, he just stood in the base because he didn't know what to do. So factoring all that, he was dying all the time. And you have to factor in that minions spawn every 30 seconds, so that means as soon as minions spawn, he goes into the lane and he just died, basically. And then I did not perform super good because I was versus Malphite and I got a bit tilted by this experience, but I mean, I should have played better. One time, I traded 1-for-1. That was a mistake by me. Now, it still worked, but not in a game like this. I'm just trying to figure out how I could have carried this game, right? So I traded 1-for-1 with Malphite, but I probably could have lived, honestly. I just misplayed. Alright. Again, he lost, like, if you look at, like, him and me, there's, like, 4,000 or 3,000 gold difference between him and me. And that's also assuming, well, not assuming, that's because also the jungler gave him a kill one time. Like, I burned my ult, but I was surprised the bronze guy figured out that I had no ult, and they turret dove me, basically. But this guy did most of the work, to be honest with you. This guy just basically pressed R. But, like, fair play to them. I mean, bronze players, and they were able to figure out that I had no ult and turret dove me, basically. But I'm assuming, I'm suspicious these guys could be Smurfs together, or I don't know what they're doing. But I mean, this was just a disgusting game. And, like, I have to tell you, I had in Russia, on Russian server, I had exactly the same experience. I was playing Tryndamere jungle. I wanted to test, you know, if a jungle is a good role, and you have higher chance of carrying. I don't think so, because this was happening. So they had Yasuo mid lane, who was doing this, and they had Yone top lane, who was doing this. And they both went, basically, I think they got combined like 3 kills together, and they died. One guy died, I think, it was something like 19 times, and the other guy died like 23 times. So I think combined, they did like 345 or something like that, right? So at that point I realized, oh man, jungle is even worse probably, right? Because you see what happens is, what was happening was they were feeding so hard that the enemy top and mid just started taking my jungle camps. And that's what I do when I play Tryndamere. When I destroy top, I start taking jungle camps. And because I'm so strong, if the enemy jungler is there, I can usually like 3-tap him. So that's reverse of that was happening to me, and I was like, oh my Jesus Christ, you know? How do you jungle when your top and mid are like 0-20. How do you jungle? Because you can't fight their top laner because he's like 3 levels ahead of you, right? He's stealing all your farm, and he has like 2 items on you, right? And it's the same in the mid lane. So like, what exactly do you do? The only thing I was able to do, I was able to kill Master Yi, who was the enemy jungler, and I sneaked 1 dragon. But past that point, I think it was like 12 minutes or 13 minutes, their entire... We lost basically all of our turrets, all of our auto turrets. So what exactly do I do in that situation? So I was like, no. Jungle's not gonna work. Because, right, in top lane, if your team is like so far behind, you can at least split push. Because I know I'm gonna win my top lane, and I know I can just at least create pressure. Like, at least there is some gameplay. Whereas in that game, I was just sitting there, and I literally didn't know what to do. Like, I was just sitting in base and just walking around. Because it doesn't matter where I go. It's just a death sentence, basically. Yeah. Okay, so the bad news is in solo queue you cannot win 100% of the time, because if you get these teammates, it's over, basically. The CEO of Sex. I had a teammate, his name is the CEO of Sex, so it was an iron, so that sums it up. So if you get 4 CEOs of Sex on your team, it's game over, right? It's just game over. Okay, so that's the bad news. Okay, moving on to the good news. The good news is, if you dual queue, you can win 100% of the time. Now, I played 5 games with Grey Khan, so he is also an ex-Diamond player, and he's ADC main, right? So we won. I'm not gonna count this game because technically we should have won it. We trolled. I'll tell you where we trolled. We trolled in here because we went into the same lane. I had that problem when I played dual queue with a friend, and we were like trying to get out of silver, I think, a long time ago. And I noticed that dual queue only works if you have separate lanes, right? 2 scenarios where dual queue works really well. 1 top, 1 mid works. 1 top or mid and 1 ADC works also. It's a little bit risky to go ADC, because if your support sucks, your friend, your dual queue, could be stuck. Like, I mean, imagine support feeder who just engages with the Jano or for no reason whatsoever and just feeds. So your friend could be in trouble. Ideally, you want to play mid top. That's the most ideal situation, because I'll tell you why. If top lane and mid lane wins, usually jungle wins. And because jungle wins, you get the objectives. And because you get the objectives, even if bot lane is behind, they can come back because of the dragons. Right? So kind of that's what I noticed by playing dual queue. So if you just, because in this game I went ADC Tryndamere, he went Nautilus. I mean, we just destroyed the bot lane. I'm talking like literally massacred, absolutely massacred, right? Now, the problem with dual queue bot lane, right? Levels. This Diana was like 3 levels ahead of me all the time. So even though on items I was the same as her, like if you look at the items, like I'm almost the same, right? The problem was I'm just trying to find if there's gold in here. We can't see the gold. But like on items, I could have 1v1 her, no problem. The problem was the levels. She was always like 2 or 3 levels ahead of me, and that is a big problem. And you have to factor in, when you go bot lane, you're gonna be the lowest levels in the game. I know in here we're like almost highest levels, because, I mean, these guys, This guy was just suicidal. And these two, I don't know what they were doing, to be honest with you. It's like we weren't even there, basically. So we played, like, we crashed the lane so hard, these guys were minus 40 CS at some point. Like, minus 40 CS. And this guy was just basically dying 24/7 because Khan, he bought this item here. So as soon, we basically froze the lane. As soon as Kog'Maw walked up, he pressed this thing, caught him with his hook. He was like great at landing hooks, and then he would just die. That's it. Right. Now they did manage to trade, I think, 1 for 2 one time, because man, Janna slows. Oh my god, with this thing here. As soon as she hits like level 6, dude, the slow is insane. It's just insane. So that's kind of that's how he was able to kind of kill me, I think, or Naut a couple of times because of those bloody Janna slows. So what I'm telling you, do not go dual Q in the bot lane. Why? Because even if you crash your lane, again, it's the same problem. Only one lane wins. And for dual Q to work, for you to win 100% of the time, you need minimum 2 lanes to win. Minimum. Alright? So, winning 1 lane, this would be equivalent to you just crashing top. This is what it felt like. Right? Yeah, we're strong. You know, bot lane can't compete with us. We can kind of kill anyone. Even Diana. But it takes 2 of us to do it. Do you know what I mean? And again, because these guys were not doing anything, you're just locked, right? Whereas in these games here, where we played, what was happening, like I was crashing top, he was crashing bot. Then we split, he went to split push either top or bot, and I just rotated. So if he normally went top, and I normally went bot, right? So what was happening? They were piling onto him, and I would just destroy their entire infrastructure, right? If they were piling onto me, he would just destroy their entire infrastructure. So you see, it's like as if you had 2, like, insane split pushers, because they needed 2 people to kill him, and they needed 2 people to kill me, right? So they had no way to win the game. If they pile on him, I destroy the infrastructure. If they pile on me, he destroys infrastructure. There is no way for them to win, right? And this happened all the time. This happened all the time. In this game here, they literally piled onto him and killed him. They literally sent 5 people. 5 people to kill him, right? And I just went and destroyed top inhib, I think, right? Yeah, I took down the turret, I took down the inhib. And then our mid lane also pushed and destroyed their mid turrets, right? And then at the end of the game, they sent, like, for no reason whatsoever, 4 people to catch me, especially with this guy. And then he literally just, like, knife through butter all the way to their enemy nexus. I went back and I teleported. But I mean, honestly, I would teleport just for the fun, just to be there. Like, it works. Do you know what I mean? It works. You need 2 basically split pushers. It worked like magic. And every single game was like that. Except for this game. This game he ended up support. But honestly, it all was almost the same thing. Because most of our games were where he was Draven, it was 1-3-1 setup, right? So, very, very cool. Works, right? Okay, let me just sum it up. Whew. The results of the research. Okay, so solo queue. Nothing works here. Because if you get 0-20, see you. It's game over, right? No elo. No, Elo is irrelevant. I'll tell you, Elo is irrelevant. Because you think, oh my god, I'm gonna get to platinum and this is gonna stop. No, 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 no. There's no difference. Honestly, there's no difference. So that's the bad news. Solo queue, forget about it. You cannot do it, basically. We're like objective. Let's just write down objective in here. Objective. 100% win rate. So that's solo queue is a no. Dual queue, yes. Only under these two conditions. So this is green. This is green. Whoopsie, what am I doing? Am I trolling? Okay. So condition number 1 has to be split lanes. Right. So we're talking top mid or top ADC. This is riskier. Now, some people can argue, but I think ADC is a risky role, honestly, overall. So does not work top mid and jungle. Okay, so I'm talking about if you go mid, the other guy goes jungle, you're still not gonna win because your top is gonna hard feed and your bot is gonna hard feed, and that's a big problem. Like mid, any solo. So I'll just pull it solo. Solo lane and jungle. This is equivalent to ADC and bot lane. Right, because I played multiple games like this and I monitor specifically what is the best strategy, and this jungle and solo lane is kind of the same as ADC and support, right? Or ADC and support does not work. And also you must not be counterpicked. Because if you are counterpicked, let's say you play Tryndamere and you're playing against Teemo, right? Who is good, right? I'm talking like good Teemo. I mean, you're not going to be able to impact the game at all, right? And because you cannot win top, you cannot guarantee jungle win, right? Because look, you see, top and mid 1 equals jungle auto win, right? Plus objectives, right? And because objectives, bot 1. Do you see like the formula? It all boils down to you and your mid lane dual queue crushing their lanes, which gives jungle easy time. Do whatever the hell you want. And because you're crushing your lanes, they cannot 3v3 you in objectives. So you get free objectives. And because you get free objectives, ADC gets the free gold and free dragons. And that's how you snowball the game, right? You cannot do that if you're counterpicked. So you have to dodge. So dodge, counterpicks. Okay, so for dodging you need 3 accounts. You can either level them or you can buy them. That's kind of where you can buy accounts. So 30. You can try maybe other sites, but I don't know. Honestly, you can just Google. Just Google. Buy LOL account unranked. Just Google that. Let's see. I don't like this. This is very expensive. Like, I found this to be the cheapest. Because I'm telling you, leveling up is just way too long. Way, way, way too long. There should be unranked. There you go. You might need actually maybe 4 or 5 accounts. It used to be you could rotate with 3, but now because of the ban system, you need like you need 5 accounts. But I mean, think about it. I mean, €4, €4.50 for an account. It's almost instant delivery. People say they get banned. No, they don't. I bought 4 accounts, 3 of them on Russian server, 2 on EU West, and I'm still playing on them. No problem there. They give you lifetime guarantee. So if your account gets banned, they give you a new one for free, right? I mean, $4.50 is a time saver because leveling up to level 30, even if you do it full time, it takes 2 weeks. Just calculate how many hours 2 weeks is, divide that by 430. I mean, it's not a good time spent, money per hour, if you know what I mean. So buying account is much better. Now, of course, if you want to practice, whatever, but I mean, I'm telling you from time efficiency, I'm talking about just climbing. You need 5 accounts, buy them. If you can find better deals, try to find them online, yeah. But make sure that they give you a guarantee, right? Because most of those accounts are bot leveled, right? That's why they're so cheap. And I have not seen any of my accounts getting banned, but I mean, lifetime guarantee, pretty good. Okay. Now, you can also buy a leveling up bot. I also saw leveling up League of Legends bot. If you're interested going down that route. Yeah, I think there was like, yeah, one of those, I think. I have not tried them. Right, but I think they work as you expect, you know. Yeah, they just play like a bot, basically. Now, this is BS, because I played with bots. In Iron, you get a lot of bots. They don't play like that. They basically walk to a turret, they hit minions, they go back. They go to turret, they hit minions, they go back. Like, it's hilarious. But that's because everybody's mid lane, you see. Anyway. Now, I'm telling you, it's a waste of time. Just buy the account, goddammit. It's like €4, dude. For 5 accounts, €20. Save your Asmoraf, whatever her name is. Save your monthly donations and subscription to Asmorov and buy yourself 5 League of Legends account, please. Alright? What's the lady name? Asmoraf or something like that. Moraf? Maybe Asmoraf? Twitch streamer. Because that name would make sense, right? No, not found. Maybe Asmoraf? Amaranth. Oh, there you go, there you go. Don't send money there, okay? Spend money on yourself, alright? Improve yourself. And buy 5 League of Legends accounts, okay? Alright. So now you have the conditions, right? And you gotta be good, alright? So this only works because if you're good, right? Okay. So next thing is how to find a good duo queue partner. Right? I'll give you one word and you'll understand what I mean. One trick pony. That's it. Right? If he is one trick pony, when I play one-on-one games, I notice that one trick pony gold is significantly superior player than spammer of games and champions diamond. Alright? Now you have to understand this is like 2 division difference, and I will bet money on the one trick pony. Alright? So look. You see the pattern. Tryndamere, 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 Tryndamere. Great Khan. Draven. Well, he was support here out of field, right? Draven. Draven, right? You get the idea. And he's Draven main. Okay? So I played 1-on-1 against him, and his Draven, I almost lost my final game against him. Like I had to sweat a lot, like a lot, to win that one. I swear to God, I thought, oh shit, I might actually lose. Is Draven the answer to Tryndamere in Aram? Because I really want to know how to actually beat Tryndamere on Aram. The only champion I can think of is Rek'Sai. Outside of that, I just... So I got excited. I was like, oh my god, is Draven really the answer to this beast, to this Q spammer? Because that's how you win. People ask me, how do you win 1-on-1? You press Q for the whole game, and that's it. That's how you win. Yeah, but what if they have Counter-Strike? You press Q. Yeah, but what if they jump on you? You still press Q, dude. They're gonna run out of mana eventually, right? You have infinite sustain. There is none, you just press Q. That's about it. I know there's a lot more to it. There is cooldowns playing around, but I'm just trolling. I'm telling you, if you take unskilled player like Garen versus Tryndamere, Tryndamere wins because of Q, because he can just span it forever, right? And if Garen opts to use his passive, Tryndamere just wins by CS, and that's it. So just FYI. Okay. So how to find your partner? One-trick ponies. Do not play with players whose... Let's just look at... I don't know. Let's take this guy here. Oh, this guy was such a feeder. Oh my god. Oh, he only plays 2 champions. Let's see. Yeah, it's a bad example. Maybe this guy here. Oh, come on. Oh, whoops. Yeah, okay. Oh my god, you do not want to play with this guy here. You do not want to play with him, okay? Now, the only good news I can see is his jungle main, and he plays jungle characters. But still, you do not want to play with this guy. Okay? One sec. Okay. So, yeah. So if you see a guy like this, you need to run. Don't play with him, right? If you see a guy Tryndamere and maybe some support, okay. Usually 1 or 2 supports, because the only 2 supports I can play is Soraka and Alistar. I mean, Soraka, you stand from a distance, you press 1 button. Alistar, you just see people to death and you are unkillable, and that's about it, right? But if you see this, no. Okay, no. I will highlight this in big letters. That's it. Done. Okay, take care, bye-bye.